All right, so the other day, successfully, whoa, Jesse, hang on real quick, Jesse, thank you for the 37 months, thank you for subscribing, and then Theris with the first, and thank you for resubscribing as well, JM Dooley. All right, we're getting it out of the way right away here. Thank you for resubscribing as well. It's lovely to see everybody. Welcome, hello. What is no slots? Slots refers to Kate Sith's level 2 limit break, which is called slots and it's overpowered. All right. So the other day, I ran through FF7 100% on stream to establish a starting point for like the world record for FF7 100% on the new PC version, the new Steam version that just came out. And I succeeded with a 1427, first ever sub 1430, 100% run. So if you haven't seen that yet, there is a stream VOD of it on both Twitch and YouTube, but I will be editing, or not editing, but I will be like, when I say edit, it's because I have to do it in 2 chunks. I'll be putting it on YouTube as a regular upload pretty soon, in 2 pieces, and they'll have like a couple minutes of overlap on them so that you can see it's the same video and there's no splice, right? So 2 YouTube videos, part 1, part 2 for 100%, 1427, coming soon. But what I want to do today is do the same thing for any % no slots. I want to establish a baseline time to beat for the new PC version. That is the any % no slots category. The world record on that category already, like the existing world record, similar to the PC version, where what was the record before? 1432 was my record on 2013. Similarly, what we're up against today is my record of the 2013 version for any % no slots of 619. So we'll see if I can beat that. And all right. So all that said, yeah, we are here to establish that new time. So let's get into it here. I'm going to go through the same kind of motions that I did for the 100% run. Plug in the controller first so that Steam input loads the profile correctly. I'm going to be using DxTory to show my frame rate because it's we just don't know enough about this version yet, and so I would like my frame rate to be shown. Yeah, Audeboros. Chocobo Racing, fast chocobos is back in the new version, and so that kind of affects speedruns of 100% a bit. All right, and there we go. Doodlepot, thank you for subscribing. Great to have you here. All right, so now let's launch the game. Now that everything is set up, we got DxTory ready. I've got boosters disabled. So also, once again, the reason that I am running in windowed mode is because if we're in 4x3 windowed mode, that means that if a booster is turned on, it gets drawn over the game screen in a way that I can't crop out. So that's why I'm doing it this way. So there we go. That's the that's that part of the spiel. And then so we'll move that over. Actually, let's move it like there we go. And then get the splits back up. And then lastly, let's get the gamepad viewer up so I have an input display as well. So gamepad viewer. There we go. Give me PS3 style. No, PS4 style because it's got the touchpad on it, which does get used. Nice black background. Pop that over here. And we'll put that like... I think right there is good, yeah? All right, all right. Keyboard and mouse are off, and so yeah, let's get into it. Nothing more to say yet. All right, here we go. FF7 PC new version, any percent no slots with turbo. Let's get going. Boom. Oh yeah, and I'll demonstrate here. I can press L3, it does not turn. L3, R3, them together does not turn any boosters on or off because I have disabled that. This doesn't open the menu like it's supposed to because I disabled it. All right. Instead, L2 is my turbo circle, so if I hold L2, Steam input is sending through mashing circle, and if I click L3, it toggles a permanent circle is being mashed effect until I press it again. Like it's a toggle version of it, right? That way we can like take a bathroom break. And there we go. Okay, now I just gotta open my notes up real quick though, because I didn't have my notes up. Thanks for those bits. Let's see. PC notes. Oh right, I don't have like I don't have very many world map manips set up for this. But okay, alright, I think that's good. The only one, Dr. Kuma, that in the HD console section of the leaderboard, as far as I'm aware, only any percent uses the speed up. Right? I think so. Has anyone AI upscaled these FMVs yet? A long time ago, I think yes. All of the backgrounds even. All of the game's pre-rendered backgrounds. I remember there being a mod on 7th Heaven you could get that's AI upscales of all of them that look way better than Square's fucking blurring out version. And yeah, thank you, Doodle. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. What's with the monetization? Oh, so I disputed one of them, and they immediately rescinded the claim in like 5 minutes. So I was gonna give them a day to see if they would rescind the rest of them without me having to ask. Oh, I've still got turbo on because I was demonstrating fucking pressing L3. All right. Anyway. So I was going to give them like a day to see if they would get rid of the rest of them without me having to ask them to. And then today I forgot to check if they did that. But yeah, the problem is that it's on like 15 videos that I have to go through and individually dispute if they don't remove it themselves. So that's why I didn't do it right away. All right, here we go. The backup game today, by the way, we got a couple options. You know, my plan, if nothing else, is... There we go. My plan, if nothing else, is to do Dragon Quest VI. However, Mrs. Dash might want to play Valheim. And we can see if that's on the table. Or... I played a little bit of drums before starting the stream today, and I feel like it's possible, right? That, like, what if the run dies, you know, I could jump over to the drum kit to have my first drum stream after surgery, right? That's also on the table. So, I'm spoiled for choice if the run dies. If the run doesn't die, we'll be here for 6 hours. Whoop. You can see the FMV to game background with the brightness change. Yeah. Wrist is doing pretty well. You know, I still get a little bit of pain when I try to bend it down, right? Bending it down is noticeably still not perfect, but, you know, it's getting better every day. And yo, no soul.
You're goddamn right.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. I actually re-rendered that one to be louder. The damn right, Redemption has always been too quiet. So the other day I re-rendered it to make it louder, and now I just gotta put it into, now I just gotta put that into OBS. How is this new version? Overall, I kind of like it because they fixed double input glitch, which is one of the most annoying things about the PC version in general since always. However, it's got this really annoying sound bug that they really need to fix before I put my actual stamp of approval on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5. How much more difficult would the speedrun be without the awesome soundtrack? That's actually, like, I think ultimately the thing that, well, not ultimately, like, at the beginning, right? The opposite. The genesis of my, like, speedrunning this game is because of the soundtrack. The reason being that I loved having streams of this game on while I was doing other stuff, like playing Binding of Isaac or whatever. Pinkman, thank you for the 500 bits. Yeah, I used to just love having streams of this game on just to have the soundtrack on, basically, while I was, hey, early Barrett, nice. While I was doing other stuff, and oftentimes that would be the speedrun, you know? I would have, like, Caleb on speedrunning the game, and so, that's kind of what got me interested in running it in the first place. Alright, here we're switching to Barrett, because he's the one who's going to get attacked, and if I'm going to sneak a limit break in, it's got to be from the character who went first. You hear the Omnislash sound effect twice on the... Oh, on the sped up one. Yeah. Ay, dude. I mean, that's the thing. They gotta fix the sound effects before I actually say that this version is good. But I mean, once... Oh, that miss is bad, dude. We wanted a limit break on Cloud here. Alright, so I think what we do here is queue me up a bolt and then get ready to triple Susie him. And, if Barrett... Like, if we both get a limit break here, then we triple Susie. Barrett got the early attack, so hopefully this'll be enough. No slots is referring to Kate Sith's level 2 limit break, which is called slots, which is it's overpowered and warps the entire run. So we this category bans it, and it's very fun. Oh yeah! All right, very good Guard Scorpion. Okay. So despite the miss, good Guard Scorpion. All right, let's go. Hey, McMurchie, thank you for the super chat. Streamed 4 days ago for the 100% run. You enjoyed it? I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, I mean, people love the 100% runs. If I was still streaming full time, I would do those way more often. I forgot to do preemptive apps. I'm gonna do something like that. Oh, I fucked it. I fucked it. Actually, I have to start over. I forgot what I was doing. All right, quit. All right, here we go. Ready? This will be the real one. Man, that was a really good guard scorpion to squander, but oh well. I just wasn't paying attention. I forgot what I have to do there. All right, ready? There we go. Welcome to FF7, any percent no slots on the new PC version. I've got DX Tory running to show the frame rate since this is a brand new version and we might need that info later. I've got an input display up. We're using turbo, so holding L2 mashes circle. And then I can toggle mash circle on and toggle it off by clicking L3 as well. So that's turbo. Lastly, any other info? I'm running in a window. I'm running windowed mode so that to prove that I'm not using boosters, because with the 4x3 window, if a booster was on, it would be drawn over the game screen in a way that I can't crop it out. So that's the reason for that. That's about it. Yeah, we're on the PC version, and we are basically aiming to establish a starting point world record for this category, any percent no slots on this version of the game. And all right. Verify the hundo run? I mean, one of the other mods can do that if they feel like it. And yo, James D, that's right, not Kingsfield today. The stream doesn't say I'm playing Kingsfield, does it? Did I forget to hit the update stream title button? When's Blueprints? If this run dies, I will probably... TMD. If this run dies, I think what I will do is put up a vote for Dragon Quest VI, Blueprints, Valheim with Mrs. Dash if she's up for it, or drums. Yeah. Do I have a favorite pre-rendered background in this game? Good question. Let me think about it after this menu. Whoop. I mean, I really love the scene with the Midgarzolem, the impaled Midgarzolem. Did Sephiroth do this scene? It might be that one. Thomas, shit! Alright. It was Kelly Goosecock that nailed that 45-yarder. Oh man, you have no idea how many times I watched that video when I was younger. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. The walk up Mount Coral is a good one for sure. Oh, there we go. Man, so I did it, by the way. I've been... Whoa! Someone has anonymously gifted 20 subs. Holy shit, dude. Well, you out there who would do such a thing anonymously, Thank you very much. I appreciate it big time. For those of you who got the subs, enjoy the month of ad-free viewing. And yeah, I mean, what can I say? Thank you. I appreciate it. Man, I tell you, if I'm gonna drop, actually that's more than $100 now because subs are a little bit more expensive now. If I was dropping that much, I need the streamer to say my name, you know? I got too much ego to do something as fucking badass as, dropping over $100 anonymously. All right. Are there randomizer mods for FF7? I believe I've seen one floating around out there that looked like it was a little too nonsensical for me. I have been kind of talking, Kino, I have been kind of talking lately, though, about how it would be interesting to make a modded version of this game that just changes the RNG tables so that RNG manipulations are no longer possible. You know, like if you just changed the field RNG table, for example, then step routing steps totally wouldn't work anymore. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5. And then you could do the same thing to the battle RNG table, even though we don't manipulate battle RNG anyway. It would just be, you would just do it, though, if you were making a mod. And then the only thing, the other, like, piece of RNG in the game that I feel like would have to be adjusted would be the way that the world map RNG is generated. That would have to change. To make world map manipulations not possible, you know? And I think it would be kind of interesting to, like, try to do a run of a version like that. No early turn. Steve-O, what's new on this version as far as skips working or not working? It's the same as the HD console version, where wrong warps, like warping to the debug room, are not possible. And for some reason, they also fixed Save Crystal Glitch, which is how we skip the... You know the cutscene in Northern Cave, where you choose if everybody's going left or right? We can't skip that cutscene anymore, and that loses like 40 seconds, 45 seconds, something like that. Yo, chilled? Gonna do an Archipelago randomizer run. Symphony of the Night. Someone else is probably playing SM64. Gotcha. Speaking of Symphony of the Night, I'm finally doing it. You know how I've been talking in the last several weeks, really. I've been talking about how I want to play through Symphony of the Night again in my free time on the family room CRT now. I'm doing it. I'm playing through Symphony of the Night again. Oh man, what a great game, dude. And holy shit, it looks good on this TV. That underground, you know the room with the lava? Where like there's like the 3D waving lava that casts a shadow of your character on the back wall? Oh my god, that room looks good. I'm gonna do a bolt. So yeah, not as good of a guard scorpion this time, but I will. Does anyone run a slot speed run? They used to, so that's actually kind of a interesting question, Paul. Because yeah, and yeah, actually, Cloud Carry is already kind of telling you. The reason that we run no slots is because it used to be that any percent ran slots. So just the any percent run, the fastest way to beat the game was to recruit Kate Sith, grind kills on him until he unlocks slots, and then slots all the bosses, right? However, Disc 1 skip is now the fastest way to beat the game, and Disc 1 skip, you don't even recruit Kate Sith. So any percent no longer distinguishes between slots or no slots because there's no such thing as slots anymore. But no slots is still a category because people love it. So no slots is now just a category where you don't do Disc 1 skip or use slots. And you would... Am I an idiot or not? I can't tell if I'm an idiot. Maybe slightly. I think I have to hit X for 1 frame here. Boop, boop. There we go. Oh, that might have fucked me up really bad. I might not get preemptive apps. Again. I think I screwed up again. And let me explain why, by the way. The reason that I'm screwing up preemptive apps is I'm not used to this version of the game. I'm not used to doing preemptive apps on PC. I only ever did like 1 or 2 no slots runs on PC ever. And the setup for preemptive apps is different on PC than it is on PlayStation. I think it just depends on the field, TMD, doesn't it? And yeah, R6, Disc 1 skip is basically super calm skip, where you do calm skip, except you go all the way to City of the Ancients. But yeah, so now people are still playing any percent no slots without Disc 1 skip. But nobody is doing no Disc 1 skip, but yes slots. There were a couple of people who started running no major skips with slots. But that's it. The vaccine that we pick up in the run is in Icicle Inn, next to the hero drink, which is in the room behind the map. And then... in the 100% run, we just get that vaccine and then we W item dupe it. And yes, GamerDad from 83. Yeah. So the way that this game's encounter system works is totally understood to the point where, you know, we have every single encounter that we're going to get in the run pre-planned out. Except for the world map, which is a totally different system. And furthermore, that system, the system that determines when you get into random battles, also determines when you get into preemptives. And exactly the way that it works is every frame that you move, the game counts, right? And it counts up a value that we refer to as your fractions. And every time that your fractions... increment 8, every 8 times that your fractions increment, they roll back over to 0. And at that point, when fractions roll over to 0, that's when the game does all of its logic for whether it should trigger a random battle or not. And what it does is it increments your danger level depending on, for an amount that depends on what field you're in, as well as what your lure value is. Or no. Never mind about the lure value. I lied. It does not matter that. It increments based on what field you're in. Because certain fields give you more danger than others. Then, it looks at the RNG table 2 times. First, it grabs a random number and compares that to your preemptive threshold. And if the number satisfies the preemptive threshold, it sets a flag that says, if there's to be an encounter, make it preemptive. And if it doesn't satisfy the threshold, then it just doesn't do that. Then it grabs a second random number to be your encounter threshold, and if your danger level is higher than that random number times your lure value, this is where your lure value matters, then generate a random encounter. So what we're doing with the setup, with the movement setup that I did out of the reactor, 2, 3, 4, which I may or may not have screwed up, by the way. So everything I'm explaining might actually, everything that I'm explaining right now, as far as the preemptive setup goes, might not pay off because I might have screwed it up. But if I didn't, then what's going to happen is the movement setup that I did in the reactor and that I'm going to do in the sewers is going to create a situation where I am going to hit a battle check that is going to say, it's going to grab a random number and say, yes, make a preemptive battle. Then it's going to look at the encounter threshold and say, do not produce a random encounter because my danger's not high enough. And normally what would happen after that is the next battle check that would occur, it would check the preemptive flag again and turn the flag back off. However, what we're going to do is we're going to hit that battle encounter, or we're going to hit that check that turns the preemptive flag on, and then talk to the character that initiates the app's battle fight. And then the app's boss fight is going to be preemptive. You can only do it with some bosses, though. You can do it to apps. You can do it to Genova Birth. You can do it to the Turks in Gongaga. And those are the only 3 that I'm aware of, off the top of my head, that you can do the trick to. All right. Now. Good. If you've seen some of the stuff about steps, then hopefully a lot of that made, like, perfect sense to you. About, like, the fractions and when the danger and that kind of stuff. All right. Anything in this version that significantly impacts the run? Yes. The biggest thing from a speedrunning perspective, that is, like, very relevant on this version of the game, which also applies to I believe this all applies to the HD console version as well, like PS4, PS5, is if you go back to the title screen, either by hitting quit or by getting a game over, it resets your formation ID to 0. And it also sets your list in stone to 0 and 1, respectively. So what that means is, A, getting a game over and then loading your file, or quitting and then loading your file, screws up your formations, and which ultimately means it screws up your steps, basically, your step route, in a way that it does not do on PlayStation or on the 2013 PC version. On PlayStation and on PC 2013, your formations are not affected. So, like, let's say that let me give you an example of where this matters. If you save in front of Cosmo Canyon skip, or you save in front of Demon's Gate, and then you die to Demon's Gate, or you softlock on Cosmo Canyon, or not softlock, but you fail Cosmo Canyon skip, and then you soft reset. If you do one of those things on 2013 or on PlayStation, you're fine. Dying to Demon's Gate on PC, or either of those things on PlayStation, what would happen is you would die, you would game over, you would load your file, and your list and stone are unaffected, so if you're manipulating RNG, you're fine. your formation ID is not affected, so your step route just continues as normal for the most part. But on this version, those things get zeroed out. Does that make sense? So basically, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you A, play perfectly, and B, don't have a soft reset routed in to your step route. Elevator manip does work on this version, yes. Oh, right. I'm not going to be doing it, though, because I haven't practiced it on this version. I should probably mention that. So today is no elevator manip from me. But I'm not going to take the stairs either. We're going to do YOLO elevator. But yeah, actually, elevator manip, though, that's a good example of a place where this version kind of benefits, is that I mentioned a moment ago that if you quit and then load your file, your list and stone revert to 0-1. That's actually really good for elevator manip. Disc 1 skip, long story short, well, I need to ask you a question so I know how to explain Disc 1 skip. Do you know how calm skip works, roughly? And when I say how it works, I mean like the concept of storing a triangle, corrupting it, and then cloud surfing, and then bumping into another triangle, getting back on the chocobo, corrupting it, and then cloud surfing through 2 zones in order to get through the mountain. Like, do you know what I'm talking about on that level? Yeah, I like that a lot too, TMD. Boom, 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 boom. Kind of know about it. Okay, so Disc 1 skip is where we take the same methodology of calm skip, except instead of corrupting 2 triangles on 2 neighboring regions or chunks, we corrupt 5 triangles on 5 consecutive chunks. Whoops. There we go. And that lets us essentially build a bridge across the ocean all the way to City of the Ancients. So, straight out of Midgar, we go to City of the Ancients and we fight Genova Birth. And it's very hard to do, by the way. I'll get to that when I can, Huggy. And like I was saying earlier, I'm getting real antsy to play the drums. If the run dies today, I might go play drums. Because, you know, I've still got a little bit of pain in the wrist when I bend it, but I think we're mostly better. I feel like I can play again, as long as I'm not too rough. What's my opinion on Rammstein? Rammstein's Morgenstern. Never heard it. Is Morgenstern the name of their drummer? I don't know anything about Rammstein. I know that I know the song Du Hast, of course, because everybody does, and that's it. Here's what I'll tell you though, is I remember when Du Hast first got popular, at least in the US, I remember everyone talking about it like it was the heaviest thing they ever heard. Like, this band, they're from Germany, they're singing in German. It's so heavy, dude. And now you listen to the song now, and it's just like dicka-dun, 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 dicka-dun. It is so fucking, it's not heavy, is what I'm saying. It is so fucking tame. All right, there we go. Boom, boom. It's got like that thing going on. Is calm skip something you can practice after a save quit reload? Yes. You can, yep. You can make a save and just do calm skip over and over. It's funny, too, the way that you remember things. Where, like, Hang on a second. Okay. I remember, like, when, I didn't hear Du Hast for years and years, you know? I heard it in high school, and then I did not hear it for a very long time. And I remembered it being, like, death metal vocals. I remembered it being, like, Du Hast, you know? I remember it being like that. But it's not. It's just a guy going, Du Hast. You know what I mean? It's like, man, even that is like, just not at all what I remember. I remembered it being heavier. Du. Yo, Zergu, thank you. How do you make the chocobo stay in front of the mithril mines when you grab long range? You have to have not gone to calm yet. The little Honda that could. If you have not been to calm yet, then specifically on that little patch of grass, the chocobo doesn't run away. Exactly the way that it works is that all of the triangles that make up the shoreline in front of Mithril Caves have a script on them that turns a bit on when you touch them. And then a little bit into the swamp on the way out, there's another line of triangles that turns the bit back off. And when you dismount the chocobo, if that bit is on and you haven't been to calm yet, then it will, Cloud will tell the chocobo to stay. Du hast mich gefragt. Und ich hab nicht gesagt. Whoops. Remember there was a story about Rammstein opening for RHCP? And after Rammstein, all the hype was gone for Chili Peppers? I've been to concerts like that, dude. Speaking of which, well, actually, one of, like, the last times that happened, I saw a band... Whoa! Oh, he's just playing with the bag. There's a band called, Silva a new they're like a new death metal band from Minnesota. They've got one album out called Forgotten Sanctuary that's really excellent. I saw them open for I don't even remember the name of the other band. But it was like the crowd was super pumped for him and went nuts for him, right? And it was like super just high energy, awesome death metal show. And then the headliners came out, and then it was just back to the usual Minnesota, just everyone's kind of just got their hands in their pockets, just kind of nodding the whole time. And it was like you could feel that it was like everyone blew all their energy on Silva. Speaking of, I'm seeing them tomorrow. If any of you enjoy death metal and are in the Minnesota area, Silva is actually playing a concert tomorrow at the Turf Club. I think it's called the Turf Club Bar. Hothead and Bottomless Pit. I've heard of Death Grips. And Norther I've heard of, but I have not heard them. Yeah. That's the one, Kiefler. So I'll be there tomorrow. Dude, I can't help but love. I've only heard the album Mega Kung Fu Radio by Powerman 5000, but I'm gonna be real with you guys. I kind of love that album. It's so good. It's a little embarrassing because it's new metal, and if you're a real metalhead, you're not really allowed to like new metal. But no, that album kind of slaps. Now this is what it's like when worlds collide. It's so good. Oh man, you get all pumped up. I especially like the song Car Crash because it sounds like he's saying cock rash. You know what I'm saying? Car Crash. And yo, RMAO. And Niverim Tube. How you guys doing? It's none. When Worlds Collide was Wiggle Baron, yeah, that was a Tony Hawk 2 song. Tony Hawk 2 also had the song Blood Brothers by Papa Roach. Speaking of good new metal, I'm not a fan of Papa Roach in general, but that song Blood Brothers was kind of sick, Okay, it is time for the moment of truth as to whether I did preemptive apps correctly. Oh, ow! I fucked it up, dude. Okay, I gotta tell you guys, I don't know if this run is viable. Unless I take stairs, I have to take stairs actually. Okay, update to the plan. We're taking stairs. I have to take stairs. Why? Because not getting a preemptive apps costs extra grenades. And YOLO elevator also costs extra grenades. And so at this rate, I'm gonna run out of grenades. So we have to take elevator to save grenades. Or we have to take stairs, to save grenades. How much time lost without preemptive? You'll see it right here. It's not really that bad, but it does cost a lot of grenades. But there you go. We lost like 7-8 seconds. What are we gonna do with the other 9 hours? Why did I get a fight here? Wait, why did I get a fight here? Is this normal? This isn't... I don't think that's normal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I fuck something up? Oh, now there's a light flickering in my room? Oh my god. Ninja Turtles is the hundo route. This route gets crabs. Oh, you know what it means? I think it means that I'm mega...
What's going on here?
It might just mean that I'm mega behind on steps. Yeah, it was a preemptive, which it's supposed to be, so I believe that means that that was the correct step ID to get that fight on. I'm just mega behind on... Wait. Wait, I shouldn't have gotten this fight either. Wait, I don't know what's happening to the step route right now. That fight shouldn't have happened. Let me do some... I gotta do some calculations in my head here about what's happening to the step route right now. We did that. I did that, right? I did the that? I did the that? Maybe I... Oh, you know what? Okay, okay, so that fight was normal. So I underwalked the 6 is what's going on. No, yeah, Matt's right. I underwalked the 6 is what happened. Because that last fight that we just got was normal. It's just really behind. It's really behind though. I don't know how I got so far behind. That's what I'm curious about. How did I get so far behind? I must have done the wrong preemptive setup for apps, right? My app's preemptive setup must have been completely wrong. Yeah. I'm gonna say that's the answer. My preemptive app setup was bad and cost extra steps. So what I did for leaving Reactor 1 was the setup that I remember doing on the any % run, which I stole from Feck. Are we fixed now? We're insanely behind on steps to the point where steps might be dead. But I'm gonna do my best. It is the PC version after all. So yeah, ultimately though, like what's the root cause of my problems with steps right now? The problem is I didn't even review how to do preemptive apps before starting today's stream because I forgot to. That's really the root cause of what's going on. Nice, that'll save a grenade. As far as resetability, it's too late. Oh, nice miss, idiot. I gotta, I have work tomorrow. So Final Fantasy VII runs are always a one and done nowadays around here, you know. Your step route has nothing to do with the world map. So no, world map manips are still totally fine if you're completely off steps. Is anyone else putting up runs in this category? Not that I know of yet. But I mean, I'm not sure. I should probably post on like the Discord about the run that I already did, because since there's no leaderboard for it, that's like the only place for it to live. Well, I'll put it up on YouTube first. But yeah, this is probably just going to be a little bit of a disaster for a while. Because not only are steps bad, but formations are also bad right now. Because I got an extra fight. Which means, I mean, that might really bite me in the ass later. I have to see if it fixes itself or not. Imagine Reno does crits, paralysis crits. Oh yeah, I have 100%. I have game overed to Reno before on a speed run. Reno is trivial, but he can kill the run. Is this category in seconds saving category, or do I think there's minutes left to find? Well, in the PC, any percent, minutes. In the PlayStation, any percent, no slots. It's, I mean, I think if you had absolutely perfect RNG, you could get a sub 630, but that's like, the amount of luck that would be needed for that is insane. But sub 630 is possible, I think. But someone would need to execute basically perfectly while getting basically perfect RNG for 6 hours straight. Definitely more possible on the no long range route. Yo, Umichi. And Samsol, thank you for subscribing, thank you. Good to have you. Yeah. Like, let me tell you, the run that you would need to get sub 630 would be, it would make for the sickest summoning salt montage of all time. I appreciate that, Samsel. You wouldn't need to be Taz. You would just need to not make any mistakes and be fast, and then have perfect RNG. But nah, Taz saves like an hour on doing ridiculous stuff. I imagine the way that Steps was discovered is that, let's say, whoa, Samsol, thank you also for the 5 gift subs. Thank you, damn. Okay, so we're gonna get this fight like really soon here. Like, oh my god, that's so... Yeah, this run might like be actually dead to steps, dude. This is remarkably awful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4.5. I'm taking 24.5. Let's see what happens. Oh my god, and then that was bad because of my fucking PS5 D-pad? Thanks. Thanks, Sony. Okay, so anyway, there was a question I was gonna answer. The question was... Oh, how did someone discover steps tech? Okay, if you speedrun FF7, right? That means that you're gonna turn on the system, you're gonna hit new game, and you're probably gonna move the same way every time, right? If you do that, pretty quickly you'll notice that your battles are always happening in the same spot. And so then it's just a matter of figuring out how to control it. Or like, figuring out, kind of dissecting it from there. Now, actually, wait though. That only tells you half the story. How did someone discover walking steps versus running steps? Now that's tricky. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the way I heard it is Brutal Speed figured out walking versus running steps. And the way that he figured it out was he had a save point that happened to be right in front of a battle that he only got if he was running. Like, he made a save, and it just so happened to be at a spot where if he ran, he would get a fight right away, and if he walked, he wouldn't. Am I a Minnesota Wild fan? I don't really do sports. I got nothing against sports. You know, I see the appeal, but I've just never gotten into sports. Decompiling of the game and that kind of stuff came way later. Way later. But yeah, at this point, like, the actual almost source code of the steps function is basically decompiled. The cat, she is Mia. Hockey and metal are buds. Is it because of the fighting? But I've never really heard that before. I know pro wrestling and metal are buds. And as far as reverse engineering of this game goes, some of it very much yes. Like the field scripts, for example. There's a program you can check out called Mako Reactor that you can open up the game ISO with, or the F-level file from the PC version, and you can read all of the scripts of all of the fields. So like that's totally like reverse engineered. And then battle scripts also. If you look up any enemy on the wiki, you can read its battle AI script. So like that's really well done. And then there's some other stuff too, but I don't think that there's like a beginning to end decompilation of the game or anything like that. All right, 45 grenades. 45 grenades. Is that right? Wait, why do I have so much money? Well, I guess because I only bought 45 grenades. Okay, so now we're gonna get into this battle, like, ludicrously soon. Oofta. Now we have to walk, like, for a long time. We have to do, like, that many steps to avoid the next fight, which might not have even worked. Oh, dude, we're so far behind on steps, it's actually insane. So this is a basically all right. I'll reiterate what happened. I did not research preemptive apps at all before the run today, and I tried to just do it from memory once I realized that I didn't research it, and doing it from memory did not work. And so now I'm insanely behind. I don't like that part. I mean, I think it's you know, I'm a little sick of it, having done it like 200 times, or probably actually significantly more than that. Yo, Sar, how's it going? What were you up to today? Oops. Oh my god, if it weren't for the fucking, if it weren't for the sound glitch, I would have known I was on the wrong menu option there. Playing Final Fantasy 15 for the first time. I might play that eventually. Found an old video, remember, back in 2010, it was known that walking reduces the number of encounters that you get, and that it matters even later in the run. Yeah, I could see that, because if it doesn't reduce the number of encounters, but it benefits you otherwise, probably what they're talking about is it gets a battle on an earlier screen rather than a later one, which probably gives a better formation. Does the steps circle repeat, or will we always be behind? The way that you catch up on steps, besides being perfect and besides the PC version slowly catching you up over time on its own, for reasons that we don't have to get into, the way that you generally catch up on steps is you get to a spot where we normally need to force an encounter. There are certain times in the step route where we need to stop and just move until we get an encounter, because we need to get an encounter in that spot. For example, the spot where we learn the laser enemy skill. You know, we need to get a fight on a certain field to learn the laser enemy skill, but if we are good on steps, you can just run right through the screen and never get the fight, and you'll get the fight on the following screen instead because you're far enough ahead on steps, right? Well, that's bad. So what you do on the route is you stop at the end of the screen and you just move until you get the fight, yeah? So, let's say that on a normal run, you would have to stop and run back and forth for 3 seconds in order to get that fight, yeah? Generally, on average, it takes 3 seconds of running back and forth to force that encounter. Well, that would mean that you could be up to 3 seconds behind, 3 seconds of movement behind on your steps. Oh my god, steps are fixed because we took stairs? Hang on. Stairs actually fixes steps, I just realized. For reasons that, okay, don't ignore that. I'll talk about that in a second. What was I gonna say? There was something else I was gonna say. Oh yeah, so let's say normally it takes 3 seconds to force that encounter. that means that you could be up to 3 seconds worth of movement behind, and then instead of spending 3 seconds moving in place to force an encounter, you spend those 3 seconds running toward the spot that you would normally force it from your behind position, and boom, you just caught all the way up, and now everything's back to normal. Does that make sense? So, so that's generally how you catch up on steps. Now, here's how I just caught up on steps, having forgotten that this is a factor. Normally, for this step route, expects you to take the elevator. And to get to the elevator... Oh, how do you first, okay, how do you detect how far behind you are? I don't want that elixir, it's going to confuse me. If I have that elixir in my inventory, it's just going to confuse me. How do you detect how far behind you are? We expect to get the encounters in a specific spot. And so if you expect to get the encounter in one spot, but instead you get the encounter like what appears to be, let's say, like 10 feet back, well, then you're 10 feet behind. It'll be the same encounter. You just haven't run the cloud as far into space as usual. You know what I mean? Like, instead of running through the dungeons and taking all the turns and going from one dungeon to the next, if you think of the whole step route as just like a football field, right? And normally you get an encounter on the... normally, you would run straight forward and you would get an encounter on the 40-yard line, right? Before the 50. But if you ran left and right a little bit before you started running forward, that would be wasted movement, yeah? You would have wasted a step right and then a step left. So then you start running forward, and now your encounter is still going to occur after the same number of steps, but you're going to get the encounter 2 steps before the 40-yard line now. Does that make sense? That's like exactly how steps work, and that's how you get behind. Okay. Womp womp. Yeah, Alvin, it was a different time. I did not know about that, R6. Alright, alright. And now I'm going to take a little bit more stepping to get here, because I don't know if I underwalked before. "16 seconds time save." So this version, if you look at the frame rate, it's a little bit over 30, and we're running against the old version on FPS fix, and that version with FPS fix ran just under 30 FPS. So I think that this game is running slightly faster than the version that I'm running against. But But then also, I think that run just kind of sucked. Like, I think that it just wasn't, like, the best run ever. And so, you know, we're going to be able to save time everywhere. All right, so here the mayor password is based on your in-game time. So look at my in-game time here. Ooh, it went, okay, 3. King. 3 means king is the password. If you can recompile the game, you can upscale everything. Yeah, I mean, so if this game's, like, entire source code was decompiled, or was, like, yeah, was figured out, then yeah, you would be able to make a source port out of it. That's, like, exactly what a source port is taking a game's source code and then recompiling it for a different, platform, or just recompiling it in general. Okay, so formations, I think, are still fucked up, but we should at least be back on steps now. We should be. Let's see how far behind I am. We expect to get the next encounter after this box. So box shouldn't get the encounter yet. Oh, that's so... We're still pretty far behind. It's just not nearly as bad anymore. We're back into the territory of it's fixable. It's fixable now. But we should have gotten that encounter right now. So that's how far behind we are on steps still. I think a texture mod would kind of screw me up because there's, like, visual cues and stuff that you look for that would be slightly different. And it's also it's also like a unwritten global speedrun rule that you run a completely unmodified game unless there is a specific exception, right? A specific exception would include, like, the Speed Square mod for the 2013 version that makes it run at a consistent frame rate. You know, we decided on as a community that we will require that mod because it makes the run fairer. Are the backgrounds unupscalable? I mean, from what I understand, so, like, what we're looking at is they originally made all of these rooms in 3D, right? They were using the 1996 equivalent of Blender or whatever, right? To make the 3D environments, but then instead of putting the 3D models into the game to run in real time, instead they used their 96 version of Blender or whatever to just render out an image of what they modeled in 3D. And then that's what's in the game, is that 2D rendered image. So, the problem, though, is that Square Enix notoriously did not keep any of the source files from this game. They don't have the source code anymore. They don't have the 3D models that this stuff was rendered out of anymore. Yada yada. And so, like, they could have just re-rendered everything from the source models in a higher resolution, which would have been cool, but they don't have those source files anymore. That's what I understand the issue is. Why? I don't know, man. It was in the 90s and in Japan. I wasn't there. But yeah, there is a mod on Seventh Heaven where, and this is kind of before like the recent AI craze, but there is a mod on Seventh Heaven that's like AI upscales of all of the backgrounds, and they look pretty darn good. That's right. If I had a time machine, that's what I would do. If I had a time machine, I would go back in time to 1997 Japan, where when they were about to delete the source code files, and I would say, wait! I would say, I don't know how to say stop in Japanese, or wait. But I think Hajime is like begin, or commence, or whatever. So I would say like, no, Hajime! Hajime, no! Ie, that's no. Ie, Hajime, Hajime, Ie. Right, there we go. I remembered Ie because of Yakuza. I learned that one in that. What if no means yes in Japanese? So no doesn't mean yes, but hi does. So I would very much have to avoid not saying hi to them. You know, no pleasantries. They can understand stoppo. That's true. From what I understand, also, I mean, you know, of course we're not talking about 100% of people, but just in general, from what I've heard, if you were to say stop to somebody in Japan right now, if you were in Japan and you said stop, they are less likely to understand you than if you said stoppo. Because it's how their language works, and so they'll more intuitively understand the English word spoken in the Japanese dialect than they would hearing it in the American dialect. And the exact same thing is true in reverse, by the way. If you know, if someone asked, like, do you know karate, right? Less people in America would instantly know what they're talking about than if you said karate, you know? If you say karate, 100% of Americans know what karate is. But karate, less, right? Same with karaoke. You guys want to sing karaoke? The thing is, more people will understand you in America if you say it that way. Because that's the American dialect. And I think that's interesting. I'm going to cast fire with red here in order to save a grenade. All right, nice. I don't know what lost me that much time in my PB there. You took a Japanese class in 97? Oh man, I wish that like my grade school had offered it. We had the choice of Spanish, French, or German. If Japanese was an option, I would have taken it very seriously. and done as well as I could. But out of the options, I picked German, and I don't really remember too much of it. I didn't get much out of it, I don't think. Whoop! When I'm playing a game blind, how do I approach not knowing what a stat does? That's a really good question. I mean, generally, I have an assumption of what it does, and then if it seems like there's an easy way to test it, I'll try to test it. You know what I mean? Like take some samples of damage numbers and then change it, and then try to take more samples of damage numbers. That's for the easy stuff, though, right? For things like luck is really tough to figure out what it does in a lot of games. I kind of just assume that I, in general, enjoy luck, though. Like, I usually favor luck when I can in RPGs. But, you know, it's tough to know whether it's really worth it. In Aria of Sorrow, luck does absolutely nothing. Oh, man, I hate to hear it. Does it really not do anything? Like, it doesn't affect critical hits or drops? Does that game have critical hits in it? Something in German? I remember, like, Hallo, wie geht's? Meine Lieblingsspiel ist Final Fantasy VII. Du hast. You need about 200 luck to raise drop chances by 0.1% because they coded it wrong. Very interesting. I will keep that in mind for my next Aria of Sorrow playthrough for sure, which is probably going to be soon. I'm playing through Superstar Saga right now for my Game Boy Advance playing, right? Blasen und Fieken? I don't know what that means. I also don't know what Wir suchen dich means, but I don't think it means what it sounds like it means. All right. Does Blasen und Fieken, does it mean sucking and fucking? Because that's what it sounds like. It does? Oh, okay. That's great. That's funny. Isn't it funny how you can just tell what things in other languages mean just because of how they sound? And with just a little bit of context, right? The context being someone saying it in Twitch chat, and it being something and something, which is like, what else would it be besides sucking and fucking? Blasen and Fieken. I'm gonna remember that. Oh, dude, steps are totally fine now. I'm not sure if I'm not sure about formations though. Sign language is universal. I've heard the opposite. We have, well, at least what we have here is ASL, which stands for American Sign Language. So I've taken that I've taken that to then assume that that means that there's non-American Sign Language as well. The first word is blow, not suck. Oh, okay. New Zealand, Pog. Do you know Chiblee? My wife and I watch Chiblee all the time. He's a streamer from New Zealand. And okay. Yeah. It's that except 2 E's. Instead of EY, it's 2 E's. Chiblee! Chiblee! Okay, so now, normally, we would go Eris, Red, Barrett, and we have to flip them around now. Okay, so after these grenades, I have to change my turn order to Eris, Red, Barrett. Eris, Red, Barrett. And you'll see why. Alright, here we go. This makes it so that Red is the one who gets a kill here. Flipping the turn order around like that. So now this grenade kills, which is good because Eris and Barrett already have their grenades queued up. And now, normally, he comes down and would normally get his turn before Red, but Red is the one with the limit break, so I can queue up Red's limit break. So normally he wouldn't get a turn before the boss's next turn, but instead he gets his limit break. And then I'm also going to queue up a regular attack with Barrett here in order to save a grenade. Boom. Because I believe, even though it only does 40 damage, it's enough to save a grenade. All right. Pretty good fight. Man, this 619 had a terrible Midgar, huh? So now it's also going to be wacky to see if I can remember how to do preemptive Genova birth. All right, we got slow dog skip, which is where we use the braver to skip the dog's turn. However, Rufus laughed instead of doing shotgun, which took... Oh, and the dog survived anyway. Oh, man. That's right. When you take stairs, when you take stairs, your braver isn't strong enough to kill the dog always. No, I don't like fixed battle camera. I like it on auto. I like it on auto because I grew up playing this game and it's just what this game looks like to me, right? It doesn't look like FF7 with a fixed camera in battle. And it doesn't really affect speed strats almost at all. The only time it affects speed strats, really, is you being able to grenade the dog before Rufus's turn. But I do the braver strat anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Whoop. So you can use a melee Scary Gary. The reason that I didn't is because the dog has a really high evasion. And so if you try to do a regular attack on it, Cloud will very often miss. And then the fight spirals out of control if that happens. And I only know that because it's happened to me. Little touches like the music, yeah, I really like that on that part as well. In general, I like how many times in this game you fight a boss not to the general boss music, you know? Like fighting Genova Life to Eris's theme, Genova having her own theme, like different boss theme, and then Genova Synthesis, even another one, and of course Safer and Bizarro all having their own themes. The camera that I'm using is a JVC camcorder that I have hooked up to a Elgato cam link. I actually got a fancier DSLR camera to try to hook up instead, but I couldn't get the on-screen display to not show up. And I've heard that you can put custom firmware on the camera to make it do that. And then something I can't remember why I never did it. But that's like a eventually project is to get that camera working instead. Oh yeah, but I had mentioned earlier, for any other Minnesota metal fans, Silva is playing a concert in St. Paul tomorrow, which will be great. And then Vanishing Earth, this band. Here, let me find it real quick. Vanishing Earth is playing April 2nd at the White Squirrel Bar in St. Paul. April 2nd. So that's cool. BMTH. Bring me the horizon? Yeah, that's gotta be it. It's funny, I first read it and thought, Behemoth? All right, we got to count damage a little bit here. 214 is very normal, so we're probably fine. $129 is also very normal. I think we don't have anything to worry about. Here's bolt number 2. Bolt number 3. Oh yeah, it's driving me nuts, the sound thing. Bolt number 4. And bolt number 5. So now we stop so we don't over-damage him. If we over-damage him, he will counterattack by standing up, and then use his turn by flaming us. But because we didn't over-damage him, instead he uses his turn to stand up. And then we get a turn to finish him off. Three grenades left? Perfect. All right, take 550 off that. We're at about 121 flat. So we can take, 58 is perfect, or we can take 0 or 7 or 12. 58, 0, 12. I don't want to take 7. So yeah, 58, 0, or 12. We're taking 12. It changes how world map seeds on the map. So check this out. At 12 we go. And at 12 I have to go 1 left and then 1, 2, 3, 4 down. Those movements are different depending on what those movements are to manipulate RNG. RNG seeded based on in-game time. So different in-game times that you leave at have different things you have to do for the manipulation. 58 had a really easy one, and so that's why I wanted that one. 7 has a really kind of complicated one, which is why, like, I could have gone at 7, but honestly, the manip probably would have taken longer than 5 seconds. And so it was worth it to me to just wait for 12 instead, which had an easier one. All right, and so then 2242, something like that. Yeah, 2242. 2242. Definitely harder on a PS5 controller, which is part of the reason that I didn't do the 7. Okay, we're expecting about 2242. Oh, we're way earlier than that, actually. 2236 we can go at. I put it on ATB weight, right? Hope so. Not more encounters on the other IGT. The manipulation is in order to get fewer encounters. It's just, so either way, it would have been the same number of encounters. It's just the movement coming out of Midgar would have been more complicated in order to get the same number of encounters. Okay, let's see if I remember. Oh, I went too far. Give me active. Okay. So now I have to watch this a little bit. Let's see if I remember how to do Genova preemptive setup. I think it's like right here. And then like that. And then like that. I think that was preemptive Genova. Now we do column skip. So what column skip is, the way that it works is I touched a specific part of the grass, which is right in front of the cave, before getting on the chocobo, and then basically this triangle movement, it like rearranges RAM in order to confuse the game into thinking that Cloud can move anywhere in this little chunk of the world map. But I also need to be able to do this in the chunk to the left, so now I bumped into the chunk of the world map to the left, and now we're rearranging chunks in RAM again, and this is going to trick the game into allowing Cloud to move anywhere in that chunk and the chunk to the left. So now that we have free movement in both this chunk and the chunk to the left, we are going to be able to get all the way through the mountain. Boom. And that skip is very easy to do, by the way. Like if you're a casual and you like just playing the game casually and you don't feel like doing the calm flashback, I mean, some say it's so easy a caveman could do it. Oh! $35. Oh my god. I forgot how many grenades to buy there for a second. I almost bought 44, which is how many you buy on Hundo. I think it's 35. Ms. Dash the game, huh? I don't know a Ms. Dash anymore. I only know a Mrs. Dash. Is that adjusted for the extras? Yeah, we basically already did that. All right, don't be a douchebag, Bottomswell. Yeah, Leatherman. Are there any, like, strats that were originally tasks that have been adopted? Yes. Did you notice on the world map that I was moving in shoulder cam, running diagonally, and like, rotating the camera away from my diagonal movement? that is a strategy that was discovered by Tass, and it makes you move about 5% faster, which then gets you to the town in fewer battle checks, and is very good. And yeah, that was something that I saw Lil Gecko doing, and was like, hang on, I think we can just do that. And researched it out, and started doing it in actual runs. I'm gonna big shot because here's why. Normally you wouldn't big shot here. I'm going to because I want him to die in only 3 grenades instead of 4 after the bubble, because if he bubbles Tifa, she'll be less likely to die. And he did. Okay, so let's see if that saved her. She might survive now because of that strat. I don't think so, though. I think she's fucked. Oh! He died in only 2 grenades, actually. Oh, she died by 2 HP, dude. Oh, man. That might be bad. I almost saved her. Did her HP go up then down? Yeah, the bubble thing is kind of weird. So, how to explain this? Hang on. So, a character's true HP level is not the same as the HP that's being displayed on screen. For example, when you, whenever a turn begins in this game, it immediately calculates and applies all of the damage for that turn. So, for example, if you cast Knights of the Round, it calculates 100% of the damage the very first frame that turn begins. And the enemy's true HP level is already set to their new HP the frame that the turn begins. However, in order for and the same thing applies to your characters. When you get hit, their HP immediately goes down at the start. But the game then waits until the actual strike occurs and like the damage numbers show to actually show like your bar changing, and to show, and then your health ticks down like number by number, right? And that is because and yeah, that's because the display number is different from the true number. Now, display number versus true number gets really weird when we consider regen, and that effect that we just had in the bubble, I've heard referred to as dual, or maybe water polo is a good way to say it. I've also heard it called dual for whatever reason, but yeah. So the way that those work is the full turn amount of regen or water polo, whatever you call it, applies right at the start of your turn. And then I think, actually, I'm not even positive how this works. I think your true HP reflects after the turn is over. And then regen is like a... Actually, you know what? Never mind. I'm going to stop right there because I don't know how it works, actually. I just know it's different. Or, you know, it's like... I think it's the opposite, actually. I think what it does is your display HP is changing consistently, and then after the turn is over is when it looks at what it actually should be and applies it. I'm not sure. But yeah, it causes the numbers to do weird things. We should look into it a little bit more closely, because I would like to know more confidently when it applies regen to your true HP level. I think it has to be after. Because, like, let's say there's nothing in the queue. Then it wouldn't know how much regen to give you. So instead, it would have to apply the regen, and then it would have to start counting how much time has passed. And then the next time that it wants to apply your regen, it needs to see how much time passed, and then apply that much, right? That has to be how it works. It doesn't make sense if it worked the other way. And yeah, that's also the only way that, like, the strat that Scary Gary is describing would work. So yeah, that must be what it does. It visually displays for you your HP changing, but then when it gets to the point where it actually wants to apply it to your true HP value, it looks back at how much time has passed since the last time that it applied, and then applies that much. So then why does that make a character's HP jump up at the end of a fight if they have the water polo effect on them? It would be because for some amount of time, it was ticking down, and then the timer must stop, and then it looks back and it sees that it unticked too much and puts it back on? I don't know. And yo, I'll talk no game. You thought it was called Seizure? I think it doesn't have an official name, right? Unless people saw the source code. But I feel like the source code doesn't have the variable names in it. And like it's all stuff that people kind of made up, right? And yo, Monstery. Oh, yeah. I've been watching like one of their videos every day. Oh, the split names, they just, they form over the years. This split is when we get the Force Stealer from Heidegger. And, my emote prefix used to be Super R. And, like, we had a joke about, like, I called Heidegger a sack of shit one time. And so then people were saying that I should have a Heidegger emote on Twitch that was sack. So then this split having to do with Heidegger adopted that name instead. Not much of a story, really. I should run to the restroom here. I'll be right back. So, I just realized something. I don't know if you guys have been noticing, but I've been noticing that even though I've been claiming that our formations are off, they haven't seemed off. Formations have seemed fine, haven't they? So in the bathroom just now, I was thinking to myself, why are formations okay? What happened? And then I realized, formations aren't off and they never have been. So steps and formations are both fine right now. The reason that formations are fine is because the steps that what happened, the reason that I thought formations were off was that I failed to walk the 6 steps. When I tried to take the 6 sewer steps, I failed. I walked too little and we got into an encounter. Normally, that throws off your formations because that's an extra encounter. Too many encounters increases your formation ID too much, thus your formations are off. However, those 6 steps in the sewers are actually optional. You can take those 6 steps or you can not take them, and either way, you actually get the same number of encounters. You just get them in a slightly different spot. So when I failed to walk the 6 steps and I got the encounter right away, hang on. So when I failed to walk those 6 steps and I got that encounter, all I did was I essentially accidentally opted to not take the 6 steps. Because getting the other encounter at that point, then it reduces your danger enough to where you don't get the following encounter, and then you get the one after that, which is normal. So, yeah. So formations are actually fine, and steps are totally fine right now. The only question is whether or not I remember how to do preemptive Genova birth. Yeah. Which I don't know if I do. Okay, this part's weird. Remember that X and circle are switched. They made this game easier, by the way. You have more time. Which I think loses you, So I did switch them back in the settings, GamerDad, is the thing. Like, I switched it back so that circle is confirmed and X is back, but then that fucks up the mini-games. It makes the mini-games kind of different. Did I land on step ID 160? I don't know. All I know is I did the PC version. Yeah, I did the PC version of the setup, and I'm not sure what the numbers are. Oh, that's a split. Do Genova room like normal, but run right bonk, run left bonk. I think what I have to do is on the first room with the stairs, you go left to bonk, down to bonk, up, and then I think you walk left to bonk and then run up. That's what I just remember from when I did this run like 2 years ago that we're fighting against. We'll see if it works. I have not, Kuma. Yeah, the way I did the cave, I copied Feck's run from a while ago. It's like straight up, like you either force the encounter in the spot that you spawn in on the vine room or within 8 fractions from the edge of the previous room, which is what I did, so that it's the same either way, right? And then you go straight up into up left to bonk into the vine and then grab it, and then up left into left to bonk into the right side of the materia, and then just run back, and then exit with the up left exit at the door instead of the just up exit. What do I think will happen to the leaderboards? I think the HD console leaderboard is going to be renamed HD, and then it's going to have 2 subcategories on it, which is going to be console versus PC. And this version is going to be HD PC. Softlocked picking up Mime? I'm unaware of a Mime softlock. Do I think it'll need an FPS limiter? I think more people have to test it to be able to tell, because it seems relatively consistent for me. I think that, hang on. Cover? Steal? Oh, geez, I'm so bad at that menu now because I changed what I do. Anyway, okay, let's see if this works. So left, down, up, walk left, run up. That might be it. Hopefully that's it. Anyway, I think that, I think my PC seems to be reasonably consistent with itself. And so we need to see if other people's are in the same window, you know? Like, I feel like mine gets 30.6 on average quite consistently. It's definitely more stable than 2013. Yeah! Let's go! Oh, how many Bravers have I done? Yeah, you just saw it, Dr. Kuma. Okay, we did, apps. And then the 2, I think. So I think we've done 5 Bravers total now. Is that right? And then this is Braver number 6. Yo, KTM. It's like the HD console version, right? Like the version that's on PS5, PS4, Switch. And yo, Rock Crawl Jeep, how's it going? Oh, Cloud has a limit and I didn't notice? Oh my god, I was reading chat and I didn't notice that Cloud got a limit. And now he's dead. Oh my god, I fucked up. I was reading chat and I didn't notice his limit. That was a big mistake. She should be dead really soon here, though. Oh, no. Don't triple Tifa, please. Okay, thank you. We're fine. Okay. All good, all good. So we are at 6 Bravers, that means. I should be at 7, and Cloud shouldn't be dead, but we are at 6 Bravers, and Cloud is dead. No problem. And no. Nobody, it's nobody's fault. I just spaced out, you know. We're counting Bravers because we need to unlock Cross Slash before Red Dragon. And you need to use Braver 8 times to achieve that. And yeah, so far we've done Guard Skip and Calm Skip. So I might just have to pay a little bit more attention on Materia Keeper. Because I think usually Cloud is level 13 and Tifa's level 12 on Materia Keeper, right? But on this run, Cloud might be level 12 and Tifa might be level 11. Which will mean that they need to have 32 magic and 51 attack. Rather than 31 and 50. And yeah, the reason that we want Cross Slash so badly, so damn much, is because of its paralysis effect. That's correct. And yeah, the frame rate is overall pretty all over the place. Okay, I gotta plan out a thing here. Take 820 off, huh? From here, so like 4950. Alright, I think we're going to be around here. We can take... So if it's 49, then we can take 49 or 53. 49, 51, 53. Uh, 53. Oops. Okay, and now we have to stop, and then we go Phoenix down. And then we don't trank him. Okay. World Map Manip is going to get us to the bridge without a fight, which it looks like was successful. There we go. And then now for the PC version, we have to be careful not to touch any walls on the way up. Why? Weird stuff that the PC version does on the world map hit detection. If we brush the walls, it's going to change how the buggy behaves during Calm Skip. Or Cosmo Canyon Skip, I mean. Okay. And now, 2.5 steps here. Hey, that's good for me. 1, 2.5. Because we would like Cloud's limit bar to get built back up. But I don't have another hyper to do it. Why they never try to blow up this reactor? I mean, they don't try to blow up any other reactors that aren't in Midgar. Right? That's just a Midgar thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and a half. We got 6 which is Bravers, which is totally fine because it's very easy to use 2 on the laser fight. Well, it's easy as long as Cloud gets his limit bar built back up. If Cloud's limit bar gets built back up, then it's very easy to use 2. Does the finish time of a random encounter affect anything? If you're on the world map, your IGT, your new IGT is what seeds the new world map RNG. Other than that, I don't think so. I did have a 3 Braver Midgar, and then I did 3 Bravers on Genova. Right? Because it was, Apps, Rufus, Motorball. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, looking at the little chocobo nest is a waste of time. Oh, hang on, let's dang, no right arm. And how's it going, Swonderland? Oh, and also, oh, y'all, to further answer your question, if you are going for a specific, like, drop or something, then, I mean, the frame, like, then it matters when did the well, the PC version, it doesn't matter. It's a complicated answer. Hang on, I have to menu. You, and you? Yeah, that seems right. 24 grenades? Yeah, this is all correct. Oh yeah, that's what I was just gonna get to, oh y'all, is that, the timing that you end a battle does affect drops. However, that timing is on the PlayStation version, that timing is relative to the timing of the start of the battle. Because when a battle begins on the PlayStation version, it takes the global 60 FPS frame counter and uses that to seed the battle RNG, and then the frame that the battle RNG lands on, because it advances every frame from there, the frame that the battle ends on is what decides the RNG for the drop chances. On the PC version, every battle affects the next one. It's weird. It's weirder. It's like it uses system RNG in order to seed battle RNG at the start of every battle, and then also what happens in the battle might change system RNG for the next battle. But yeah, so it's stranger. On PlayStation, it's just what frame did the battle begin, and then after that, what frame did the battle end. On the PC version, it's what state was system RNG in at the start of the battle, and then what frame did the battle end. But all of that said, then there is essentially no manipulation for steals or drops yet, except in some fringe cases. For example, there is something that you can do on the 2013 PC version called SCM, or System Clock Manipulation. And what that is, so I mentioned that System RNG is what's used to seed battle RNG, right? And then what happens in the battle affects System RNG for then the next seeding. Well, guess what? On the 2013 Steam version, the beginning state of System RNG is your Unix timestamp of the date and time of your computer when you boot the game. As you boot the game, it looks at the current date and time, takes the Unix timestamp and just plops that into System RNG as our 32-bit integer. And so you can use that to manipulate battle RNG theoretically. And so there is a leaderboard called PC SCM in which that's used. And then, besides that, theoretically, you could also, and yes, KTM Cole, that once we get all the pieces together, that is the strat, is to use that weapon. What was the other thing I was gonna say? Oh yeah, so on the PlayStation version though, it is theoretically possible to boot the game and then begin and like keep track of when you booted the system and then try to start a battle within a certain time frame where the global frame counter will give you the battle RNG seed that you want. That will then yeah, that'll then you can manipulate from there. That's theoretically possible, but A, it hasn't really been developed into being usable yet. And B, it's a big time commitment to do that, right? Like I could see it being used for like the preemptive apps that we were talking about. However, as Ace actually has a really good video about battle RNG that talks about manipulating a preemptive app specifically. However, I think it's like, doesn't it only have a 25% chance to work even if you rolled the right stats or something? Yeah, it's very complicated. But yeah, the drop in the final dungeon, that is something that would be, using SCM, you can absolutely get that. In fact, if you're curious about SCM, I have a 100% SCM run that you can check out. And yeah, that manipulates the Kiss of Death drop and the Earth Mallet drop and the Protect Ring Steel. And a few other things too. It manipulates Trine at Godo, I think. It manipulates level 4 Suicide at the Squirrels for sure. Lunar Curtain. Shinra Beta drop. Like all of those run killers are all manipulated on that run. You know what's funny though is that I have now completed 2 hundos without using SCM that are both faster than that run though, because other things about that run were not very good. So now I feel like so now I feel like I need to do the SCM run again and do it better, because it should be it should be faster, and it's not. Whoops. Yeah, that part is super weird, Ace. That sounds very, very surprising. Yo, Dewey. Oh, and yeah, to get the Vagras Claw, what we do, Gamer Dad, is when we get the buggy, we go back to Fort Condor and purposefully lose the Fort Condor minigame, which then has us fight Commander Grandhorn, and he drops the Vagras Claw 100%. So that's how we get it in the 100% route. You always get lost in the desert? I will show you exactly how to get through it. And you're gonna kick yourself for how simple it is. And the run has honestly been pretty garbage, but you know, we're keeping it alive. The Hundo does not have any specific requirement for Fort Condor. The only reason that we do it is once for the Vagras Claw and twice for the Huge Materia and Phoenix Materia. Those are the things we care about. We don't care about Fort Condor itself specifically. What's up, my dude gamer? Nice bait, bro. Can you get the desert rose just by walking in the desert? No, it's a drop from Ruby Weapon. I've not run Final Fantasy VIII, no. I've only played through it twice. Well, 1 and like 3/4. What do I think we do this? Uh-oh, yeah, that was correct. I'm dumb. All right. Trank those two. We do this. I am floundering here trying to remember this menu. Okay, we got there. We got there. Okay. No, don't do it! What did you take? Molotov? Okay, that's fine. All right. Here's how you get through the desert. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go through this gate. And go up. And then go around and go through this gate and just go right. Boom. Now you're in the junkyard.
This desert is stupid.
That's it. You don't gotta go out there at all. Do I recommend this game to a normie? Yeah, dude. Oh, please give him a limit. Ah, dang. Okay, how do I do this? We're gonna claw to give him a limit, right? And then we're gonna go, braver, laser. Oh, this isn't gonna give him a limit though, because he's not hypered. Ah, shoot. Okay, manip him again. Alright, potion cloud. Laser him again. And braver him again. All right, there we go. Now we got cross slash. How did that save time? There's no fucking way that saved time over the PB. That's crazy. All right, there you go, folks. We got cross slash. Okay. So anyway, so would I recommend this game? Oh, well, yeah, it's like my favorite game ever. Totally. However, for the love of God, play the PlayStation version. Either on console or emulate it. Don't play the PC version. Why not? Look how ugly it is. Do you see how ugly it is?
What the hell is going on here?
The PlayStation version just has a much more cohesive art style, where like all the pixels are the same size and everything looks great. And then secondly, the battle menu is the other big thing. How it works is check this out. So battles in this game, the action of the battles is 15 frames per second, but look at the menu. The menu is also 16 frames per second. It's god-awful. The PlayStation version, though, the battle menu actually maintains 60 frames per second, even though the like visuals are of the battle are 15. So it still feels really smooth gameplay-wise to menu around during battles. And that especially matters when you get to things like Tifa's Limit Break and stuff like that. So yeah, the gameplay is smoother, the graphics are more cohesive. Those are the reasons. The only reason I'm speedrunning the PC version right now is because this particular version like just came out, and so you know we need to do some science on it and like figure out its any speedrunning quirks and that kind of thing. Do you have to know anything about the series already? No. Most Final Fantasy games are self-contained. And so you can, like, any one of them, 1 through 10, 12, 13, they're all standalone. How does the 15 plus 60 behave on emulator? Just like it behaves on PlayStation. It's totally normal. Except for the fact that, like, I think that emulators have a little bit of input lag, but that doesn't really matter for, like, a casual playthrough. And, you know, maybe, like, I could look into maybe how to solve that kind of thing, but I just play it on console instead. 10 has 10.2? Yeah, so 10 is standalone and 10.2 isn't, you know? You can play 10, and you can not play 10.2. And you'll be happier than if you did play 10.2, frankly. And yo, Busk. This run's been okay. I've been making some mistakes. Your favorite Final Fantasy is the one you played first? True. Also your favorite Persona. Also your favorite Fursona. I mean, wait. What are we talking about? Yo, Ard Snark. And yeah, the
What the hell is going on here?
10-2 had things about it it had things to like about it. It wasn't a 0 out of 10. There were things to like about it. All right, now we got to practice our single frame inputs for Cosmo Canyon skip. It's very important in this speedrun to get good at single frame inputs. Only moving the character for 1 frame. All right. Oh yeah, I'm locked in. Do. 1, 2, 3, 4. I loved 13 Dragonic, but 13-2 I couldn't get into. I'm gonna have to give it another shot. And that's kind of a funny thing about me in general, I feel like, is I feel like there's not a lot of games where I disliked it and I just think bad game. Most of the time I think, I need to wait a year and then give it another shot, you know? And then maybe I'll see the thing about it that's good. That's not to say that bad games don't exist, though. Oh, right, X is sprint. Yahoo! Are we gonna get fast chickens here? Yeah, fast chickens! The ending of the race there was going at double speed because this game is fucked. The PC version's fucked. All right. Hopefully I get the right spot here. I think it's there. I think that was it. I think that's it. But a PC version or HD console version, expert would have to confirm. But I think that was the right spot. Okay, the run might die here, by the way. If I screw up this trick, the run's dead. So, I hope you guys are aware of that. And this is a sub-pixel perfect trick. Because there's no such thing as pixels in like a 3D environment, you know what I mean? And even in 2D environments, games generally don't count pixels, right? Anyway. Well, actually, yeah, they do. Anyway, Molotov? Molotov. Look, what I'm trying to say is, this next trick is precise. Alright, we have learned Big Guard on our 2 E skills. Alright, here we go. Okay, I'm serious. If I screw this trick, if this trick is sub-pixel perfect, and if I screw it up, the run's dead. Got it. Alright, we good, we good, we good! So that is Cosmo Canyon.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now Mia is behind my computer fucking with my cables just in time. I mean, honestly, just in time to not distract me from that skip, which is nice. Do 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 dee do do. Da 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 dum. Do 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 dee da do da dee do do. All right. So now we get into a battle with two of those grasshopper things right now. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're supposed to have to go to Cosmo Canyon there and do like a whole side quest with, it's not, I mean, it's main quest, with Red 13 where we like go to that cave where we fight the undead boss at the end and yada yada. Yo, Final Fantasy dude. Except now I have to menu, hang on. Okay. Yes. We reset your limit and then go... Okay, so you need to be at... Oh, you need 2 more, and you need 2 more. Oh, this is kind of crazy. Okay, so we're gonna power source you, and then you are gonna get ice fire. And hopefully this will be fine. We're in ATB weight, right? Yeah, okay. I'm screwing up some dumb stuff here. But okay, so this is gonna have to be close enough for the stats that we need. Alright, big guard, mini. $71, we want 28. Oh, I attacked with the wrong character. I'm an idiot. Okay, Molotov. Okay. $73, we want 26. 1 tick. 24, we need 2. Hit. 2 ticks. Got him. Yeah, we're on steps. Okay, and then I don't have a world map manipulation for this part on PC for some reason, so we just YOLO it. I don't know why I don't have a world map manip here, I just don't. Oh, and of course we got punished as hard as possible with the fucking pincer. Okay. Hey, Mia, don't do that. Don't do that. He's not dead yet. Hello? Jeez, the fucking pincer, dude. Ugh. Well, that's why we manipulate RNG, by the way. I mentioned that I have not prepared a world map manipulation for that section. That right there is exactly why we usually manipulate world map RNG. The only reason, and that's kind of what I talk about too, right? Where it's like, it looks like I got really bad RNG right there, and I did, but it's in a spot where we were only allowed to get bad RNG because I played poorly, you know? And how did I play poorly? I didn't prepare. I didn't prepare with a manipulation sheet for that, you know? So it's kind of exactly what I talk about, where it's like when you play well, or like, a lot of the time, with runners who play really well versus runners who don't play really well, the runners who play really well look like they get better RNG. And the runners, you know, and vice versa. And the reason is for that, is exactly that type of thing. Boom, 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 boom. We can buy 2 more Molotovs. So now, does Cloud have restore on him? Yes, he does. Okay, perfect. I didn't even know. I know I put... Oh, yeah. We put restore on him because I sell all green materia, so I don't want to have it on him. And yeah, this game's soundtrack is the reason that I used to watch speedruns of it. Because the thing is also, just putting the soundtrack on isn't quite right, you know? Like, you need to have, like, one song, and then you need it to get, like, interrupted by a smear, and have the battle theme play for a little bit, and then go back to the song that was on, you know what I mean? You need that kind of stuff. It sounds weird when it's just one uninterrupted song after another. You can name the characters the same thing, yes. I just don't like to because I don't want to be confused. It saves like 1 more second to take the I off of Sid's name, but I sacrifice the 1 second and leave it on so I can differentiate the characters more easily in the menus and stuff. That line is still in the game, Valet, yeah. There's a second instance as well, not from Tifa. The guards that you do guard skip around, though, if you talk to them, they say something pretty filthy at you. Not racially charged, though. No. It's one that was acceptable in the 90s. Naming every character Sephiroth? Yeah, I've seen that run. Monetary Dragon did a 100% run where he named every character Sephiroth. If you hold Alt, drag resize, and OBS, it will crop a window. I do know that, yes. Why do you ask? Pum 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 pum. Chilled! Thank you for subscribing. Is my OBS layout not pleasing to you? You think it could use more work? The thing is, I specifically want my desktop to be showing because this is a new version of FF7 where we're not really sure what the rules of verification are going to be. So I specifically want, like, I want the desktop to be visible, that, like, that, you know, this is what's on it. Do they fix modding support? I'm not really sure because I'm not in the modding scene, but I feel like people have been saying, I feel like I vaguely heard that yes, mods work for the game again, but I'm, you know, not something that I have looked at myself. Runs with boosters. There is a leaderboard for them. If you go to speedrun.com/FF7 and you go to HD console and look at an any % run, you will find, yeah, that's good. You will find runs with boosters. Whoops. Okay. Limit bar on Cloud is good for the Red Dragon fight. Is Palmer tiny? No, he's husky. His genes say so. All right. We can buy 2 Molotovs. So here we lose a bunch of time from that pincer. Not as much as I expected, though. We only lost, like, 23 seconds to that pincer. Crazy. I mean, we got a first try bio, so that made up for it a good amount. Oh, and yeah, as far as like what they get away with on these games, I feel like FF7 definitely like pushed the rating a little bit more than the other games did, totally. And part of that might be like Nintendo's regulation over what was allowed on the console and stuff like that. But this game has like, it's more violent. It's got swearing in it, you know. It's got like the blood smears all over Midgar. It's got Eris getting fucking stabbed in hype photorealistic FMV for the time, you know. Have I played Magic the Gathering? Yeah, I used to play a lot of Magic. For a minute there, I played Magic quite a bit. I liked Legacy a lot, but there was a little while where I played some Pauper as well. But and like I dabbled in Pauper and Modern, and I watched a good amount of Vintage. I really liked watching Vintage, but I really only ever played Legacy. Yeah, Commander has been really popular for a long time. I never really liked Commander. I'm more interested in like one-on-one competition kind of stuff. Legacy is it's everything, anything goes. Well, okay, so compared to Commander, it's 60 card minimum deck, no more than 4 of anything that's non-basic, and then there is a small-ish list of banned cards. And that's it, right? Otherwise, go nuts. You might be thinking of something else, Dr. Kuma. Legacy is like everything, just without a banned list. Or just with like a banned list. And yeah, Commander, you have a 100 card minimum deck, and you can only have 1 of anything that's not basic. And also you start with 40 life in Commander, and you start with 20 in Legacy. Is another pretty big difference. So Legacy is much more oh my god, Mia, please don't this cat, dude. So yeah, Legacy is much more about like constructing a well-oiled machine that you take to tournaments and the best deck wins, you know? And even though people try to do Commander competitively, and I think, you know, it's probably fine, but it is, like, by nature, it's less competitive because there's so much more variance with... Mia, you have to calm down. What? What do you want? Oh my god, don't scratch the chair! This cat... just going back and forth between fucking with cables and then scratching the shit out of my chair. And you know why? It's 7:30. It's 7:30, which is time for Mrs. Dash to give her dinner. This is the time where Mrs. Dash gives her dinner, normally. And we're 5 minutes past. So now that we're 5 minutes past, she knows that if she bothers me and comes and fucks with me, then Mrs. Dash will come down and appease her. But if she fucks with Mrs. Dash, she just, oh my god. She is knocking equipment off of the table. Mia, that's a $300 piece of equipment. Please don't knock it off the table again. It's like an emergency, Mrs. Dash. We are very lucky that I'm just in a cutscene right now. Because she is like, we've seen her dial it up to 11. She's got it dialed up to 12 right now. Thank you. Okay. The relief. Do I always do speedruns? Nah. A lot of days like today, the idea is that basically this is a 6-hour run. And I got a day job, right? Postal Guardian, thank you for subscribing. You know, I've got a day job, right? So, like, I only have time to do one speedrun attempt, if this run dies, I can't reset. But I do have like 2.5 more hours to stream, you know? Or 2.5, 3 more hours to stream. So if the run dies, then we switch to the backup game. And the backup games are the games that I take a year to finish, exactly. I only just realized that guy skates along without a walk animation. Is that always a thing on PC version? Maybe that's even on the PlayStation version and you just can't tell because his pixels are, you know, so big. Boom. Blammo. Did I know Tonberry has Death Touch in Magic the Gathering? I would hope so. But nah, I quit playing Magic quite a while ago, so I don't really know anything about the Final Fantasy set. I quit playing before any of like the crossover stuff happened, I feel like. And yeah, that's true about like the environmentalism thing. Like in the 90s, we had, you know, Al Gore at the height of his popularity, and oh right, don't have to mash here. Why did I stop playing Magic? I'd just rather play video games. It's just a time commitment thing is all, you know? Like, I enjoy the game itself, but it was just like the time commitment of like spending an evening playing Magic. It would just go by so fast, and I would feel like I only had like 8 out of 10 fun when I could be playing a video game. And like streaming a video game and having a lot more fun. That's the only reason. It was expensive also. Not like it is now though. But flex! Flex, thank you for the 97 months. God damn. But yeah, it was also expensive to keep up with. Which is funny because nowadays, all the cards that I used to have are worth way more, of course. I have never done the Yuffie date or the Barrett date personally, no. It's just not something I've ever done in this game for whatever reason. Had one too many sessions where people did what they could to make sure you lost every game. Are you talking about multiplayer or like 1v1? Because like 1v1, I mean, that's the idea, you know? You try to do everything you can to win. Multiplayer games, though, that were more than 2 players in a game, I never enjoyed. That's part of the reason I never got into Commander also, is that I remember I just never enjoyed games that had more than 2 people, because the dynamic shifts away from just you're playing and I'm interacting with your plays. Now I'm playing and you're trying to interact with my plays. The dynamic is a 1v1 battle. It's fun, right? But a multiplayer game instantly, why are you attacking me? I'm not even doing anything, right? Fuck, I hate it. I hated games with more than 2 people. Or more than 2 people. What did I buy and sell Volcanic Island for? I believe I bought my Volcanic Island pretty late in my playing, and I believe I paid 300 for it. And then I can't say how much I sold it for, I don't think. I don't remember how much I sold it for. Because either A, I sold it onesie to somebody for some amount that I don't remember, or it was part of the bulk. I sold most of my cards in one transaction. All right, here's another part where normally you should manipulate this world map traversal, but I just didn't make manips for the PC version yet. So this is unmanipped, and hopefully we don't get punished too harshly for it. Hey, that was pretty good. We didn't get carded. Nice. Yeah, I was always surprised about that, about the gold saucer thing, where like I'm surprised that once you get the high wind, there's not like a landing pad, you know, for you to fly in there. Here we need a spider web. There it is. And now we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half. I started over the counting because normally you do those steps in 2 chunks, once on the first screen and second on the second screen. But I'm so far ahead on steps that I ran out of space on the first screen. Is there input delay the way that I play it? I think so, yes. Not enough to really bother me. But, I mean, I'm sure it's not perfect. And I feel like I'm a pretty big baby as far as input lag goes. But yeah, I don't really know. I mean, what I can tell you is that, like, even the way that I play the PlayStation version, if I play the PlayStation version, when I speedrun the PlayStation version, I play it through a RetroTink 5X and on a HD TV, right? And on that setup, RetroTink 5X, HD TV, I cannot play something like Battletoads or Mario World, you know? Because there's a little bit of input lag, can't handle it. But it's fine for speedrunning this game. So, given that explanation, now when I speedrun this game using a controller on PC and the lag is fine to me, that's the level of stuff that I'm like willing to put up with. Oh, I didn't even see that the message mug. All right, there we go. Oh, I was curious. I went back. Nothing of value was lost. Seen Slay the Spire 2? Yes. I won't. If you've been avoiding it, I won't say anything. But I mean, it looks really good. I did see that actually, Dr. Kuma. The yes, the Mortal Kombat collection. Wasn't it specifically like the different versions had a different amount of delay, right? And I don't remember which one had the worst. Wasn't it like Switch was like 10 and PlayStation was the worst one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I feel like Switch and PlayStation were the ones that were like unplayable. Oh, we don't. I went to grab that Luck Plus there for a second, but we don't need that for this run. Can you beat this game without using materia? Yeah. It's not going to be very fast, but that is a challenge run that people have done. Had to put your PS1 on its side after a while so the discs would play. Yeah, I've heard that the reason for that is that the eye, right, that reads the CD slides on a rail when it goes back and forth. And what I've heard happens is that the rail wears out over time, and then the eye starts either like getting stuck or vibrating too much, or it's not at the right height anymore. So then when you turn it on its side or you turn it on like on its top, well now, you know, now it's sitting gravity, it's sitting on the other side of the rail that's not worn out yet. That's what I've heard is the reason for the problem and the workaround. I've also heard, though, that the SCPH 9000 models do not have that problem. Yo, land of abscusion? Abscusion. It's a good word. Nah, Mia's having her dinner right now. Do I have any interest in randomizer mods for FF7? I mean, I'd look at it. I would look at it, and if it looks fun, maybe try it, but... The funny thing about me, and I think that this makes me boring, I realize that this is a boring thing, but it's like, for me, rather than playing like modded FF7, I would rather just play Dragon Quest VI, Dragon Quest VII, Xenogears, right? I would rather just play a game I've never played before rather than play a mod. It's just generally how I am. Okay, this menu, I just got to muscle memory it. Whoop. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, this is different. Okay, I have to think about this. Triangle, X. Circle. Okay, there we go. It's different. X and circle are flipped around there. I did get a slime in Dragon Quest VI. I got a king slime even. He cleaned up the first few levels, and now I'll probably just take him along with me to level him up a bit before before bringing him back to the arena, because I don't think he can do the whole arena right now. Oh yeah, the sound effects here is like the worst part of the whole thing. Alright, do I think I can... Can I... I bet I can do a bathroom break here. Before the Red Dragon fight. I have not, I don't think. Alright, alright. Oh. Controller disconnected for a second and then the turbo turned off. That's something to watch out for when I set the controller down. When I was picking it back up, it did that. And yeah, my bathroom is much farther away than it was in my old place. Should do a 3x booster run. The 3x booster is only 2 times speed right now. I feel like that's something that they need to fix. I've not played Ogre Battle. Hang on a second, I have to think about this. We go... What am I doing? Oh my god, I just gave him 2 turns because I could not figure out what I was doing. Is this F like the stream is dead, or F like we saw that I fucked up the strat? We're good now. We're good now. Look at that. I saved time. I saved a lot of time? What happened on the 619, dude? I'm using a PS5 controller. And yeah, I did see a bit of Marathon. It's an extraction shooter, which is not a thing that I really care about. And then, like, I've never played one of those games. I don't really care for them, I don't think. And then also, the only thing about the game's, like, visual design that I like turned out to be, like, the stolen thing. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, I thought that all of their graphic design, not like the character designs, not the gun designs or anything like that, but like the graphic design of like the marketing, I thought was all really good, but that was the stuff that was like basically ripped off. So that was kind of funny. And then they had that, when that was discovered, they had that, like, press conference where they had, like, the artist just, like, sitting there, all, like, down and, I don't know, it was kind of weird. This is Marathon I'm talking about, yeah. Okay, so you can try this. Uh-oh, he's double doozying me? Okay, that's fine, that's fine. This is maybe a disaster, but it might be fine. I feel like I have to heal before spider webbing. I do. Okay, now we spiderweb. And now I gotta heal again? Is that a gotcha, Kiara? Now I'm blinking manually. What have you done? Now I'm breathing manually too. I think we both survived this. We both survived it. Nice. All right, that could have gone better, but it actually went pretty great though. We didn't lose very much time, and Cloud has a limit break, which is really good. And yeah, that was totally fine. Slow start, but it ended up good. We got a little bit lucky in that his critical rock drop was on Eris, and we want her to be dead anyway. So her eating that crit rock was that saved the run. If the crit rock was on Kate, the run would be dead right now. "20 seconds is gone from the YouTube VOD." Okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't know what the deal with that is. This week, Zeal attacked a chocobo and killed the run. Oh, yeah, that happens, dude. We're about to lose a robot who has more copies ready to go. I know. It is kind of funny the way that, like, they don't even, like, pretend that it's, like, a sacrificial, redeeming moment. It's like, they diffuse the drama of it, like, at the start. However, I do kind of wonder... I mean, I don't know. You could say that maybe it's intended to be that way as a joke, but, like, the music is so good that it doesn't feel like a joke, you know? All right. But yeah, it's funny. This series has always had like a lot of character deaths in it. I feel like we just I just replayed Final Fantasy 2 on Nintendo, and like 4 motherfuckers die in that game, like party members. However, that game, it's presented in a very different way. It's like you start out the game with 4 characters, and then one of them gets taken away from you right away, so you only have 3. And then your 4th character slot in the game is just like a revolving door the whole time. And so sometimes a character leaves, sometimes they die, right? And none of them are really that impactful. Where's the category for this game? It doesn't really exist yet. You know, it's probably gonna go into the HD console section, but that's gonna get renamed just HD and then be split between PC and console is probably how it's gonna happen. But right now, there technically is not a leaderboard for this version of the game. Okay. Do consoles have the same FPS as this version? I don't know. It's really hard to measure console FPS, I feel like. At least for me. Maybe someone else knows how to do it. Are Dragon Quest standalone? From what I've played so far, I would say yes. Like, there's going to be thematic things that get called back to. So there are little things that you would enjoy a little bit more if you had played the previous games. But I think that from what I've played so far, though, they are perfectly fine standalone. Oh, if you're talking about the battle menus, the battle menus are 15 on HD console. I think I'm doing the right thing here. Where we just leave? I've got Hundo Brain right now. Where Hundo Brain is like, go into that house and pick up the white megaphone, but we don't need to do that on this version. Or we don't need to do that on this route. And then, okay, I also have to remember, like, where I'm actually going. I haven't done this... Man, I haven't done this in a while. This sailing that we're doing right now. Been a minute. And then it's going to be PHS. This next menu is going to be kind of a disaster as well, because I haven't done it in a while. How do you dupe? With using W item. On this route, we don't do it because we never get W item. But I can talk about it in a minute after I do this menu. But basically, it's the easiest thing ever. It's completely free. Unless you're trying to dupe sources. Whoop. Okay. We swap you to Sid. We come up to equip. We go boom. We go exchange. Boom, boom, boom. And then Bahamut E-skill, E-skill. And then you get Deathblow Steel. And then you get all restore. And then is that it? Is that whole menu? Okay, except for one thing, I need to do that. Okay. Yeah, glad to have you, Mineral. Oh, hey, we're coming up on the part. So we run down and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 and a half. Wait, or is it 18 and a half? Uh-oh. Okay, I took some extra steps. Now I forgot. I think it's 18 and a half, isn't it? And then this is 16 up here. Yeah, it was 18 and a half. Okay, we're good. We're good. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I'm going to take 18 again. I think that one's also 18. I can't believe I'm forgetting these numbers. Oops. Sometimes I do that by accident because I'm mashing for the or turboing for the ladder already. Alright. Cures, watering, Gygus armlet, power wrist. Oh yeah, Cloud, enemy skill, Tifa, long range cover. Did I get death sentence? No. No, I didn't. I killed the run. Oh fuck, I killed the run. I didn't get death sentence. Oh no! No, the run's dead. The run's actually dead. 100% the run is dead. I didn't get death sentence. I just totally forgot about it. I was just not even thinking about
This
it.
fucking game sucks a lot.
I was just not thinking about it, and I left the area. Like, the only way to continue this run now would be to come down here. Okay. Now we gotta farm an encounter right here. And hope it's the right one. Oh, and now that I've done this, I need to undo that first. Then get this encounter. Okay, and now steps are completely dead. Yeah, so steps are 100% dead now. It's still not right to... It's still not right to split here. So this is the fight that's in the cave, right? Yeah. This is the fight that's in the cave. So that's funny. I could reset. I've got work tomorrow. I'm thinking about playing drums. I'm thinking I'd like to try playing some drums. It doesn't reset steps in Other Austin. It only resets formations to do the quit. Steps are saved to your save file. Okay, so there we go. And so now we do that again. Okay. Here's the fight that you get. Remember on my video where I said that if you just run, you get another fight right away and you only have to take like 2.5 steps? This is the fight you get if you don't take any steps, which I just got because I forgot about that until now. And then now we would come in. We're still fighting Genova. And then the run's going to be dead after that. But I just want to demonstrate how bad that mistake was. Because A, it took a lot of time to have to run back there, and then B, steps are completely dead now. And then I'll come back and I'll try to run this back like this weekend or something. Can I name any members of NWA? Okay, I'm not gonna read chat. Eazy-E. Eazy-E. Yeah, he was in NWA. Yes. Eazy-E. I think that's the only one I know. Yeah, I did forget about Dre. NWA themselves, they might be before my time, you could say, but like I definitely the song Forgot About Dre though, which is not an NWA song, right? That's a Snoop Dogg Dr. Dre collaboration, right? That's the Snoop Dogg one. No, I'm thinking of the next episode. Okay, Forgot About Dre was Eminem. Right. Either way, those two songs, very popular when I was growing up. And thank you, John Mustard. Thank you. Bow, 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 bow. That was next episode. Oh, man. When I was a kid, I thought that when he said smoke weed every day at the end of the song, what I thought in my head was, why don't the cops go arrest him? Why is he allowed to say that without getting his house searched? I watched the music video for Gin and Juice recently. Good song, you know. It's not my everyday listening wheelhouse, but it's a good one. All right, here we go. It's Genova time. As you can see, we're already bleeding all of our time away from that mistake. Oh yeah, now everybody's already hurt. If she aqua... Oh, and Cloud doesn't have any MP! Bro! Okay, so you big guard then? And you death sentence? Oh, she's already gotten a turn. Okay. Okay, now you grenade. Is this gonna work? Grenade into cross slash out of this? Okay, she's death sentenced. She's in crit. Yeah, we're good now. Now we... Ah! Whoa! Oh! I forgot about the advanced weight trick. Oh my god, I am dying here. Okay. All right. Got her, and then... Okay, we lucked out. Boom. And now we're at barely red. That's hilarious. Okay, I really fucked that up. That was terrible. I need to practice some of these bosses and like warm up on them again because that was a disaster. But actually, that wasn't even necessarily a practice thing. What happened there was that normally you big guard with Cloud, and normally you're able to big guard with Cloud because you just did Shell Hut skip, which restores everybody's MP. But this time, after Shell Hut skip, I had to go back to and cast Bahamut, and then casting Bahamut took all my MP away. So then I couldn't big guard. All right, I will try this run again. The run is dead, by the way. It doesn't look dead, but we're off steps. I lost 3 minutes. I'm just gonna try this run again, like this weekend, I think. I think this weekend I'm gonna try the run again. Or maybe early next week or something. Today's run is dead, and I feel like playing the drums. How do we feel if I was to go over to the drum kit and finally get to play drums after like a month because of this surgery, right? I had the surgery on the wrist. My motion is getting better. It's back on the wrist. I feel like I'm able to play drums again, and I'm dying to because I haven't in like a month. So that's what I think I'm gonna do. So yeah, if you guys want to see a drumming stream, make sure that you're on Twitch. YouTube does not do YouTube. I can't do drumming on YouTube. Oh, well, I actually can do that. Hang on a second before we get into it. All right. Give me a second here. This will be for everybody. I'm getting the audio set up here. It should be 2 more seconds. Okay, I turned the kit on. Okay, I think I see it. Audio. Mic 2. Hey, there it is. Okay. All right, cut me some slack. I haven't drummed in over a month. All right, all right. Oh! Hey, you know. There you go. You got a second take too. Woo! Okay. So feeling pretty good. So the deal is, for a drum stream, I do have to switch the stream over to my other PC. So for it's gonna take 1 minute. I gotta set my PC up over here. Then the stream is gonna have to go down for like 10 seconds, but only like 10 seconds. And it's only gonna come back on Twitch. So if you're on YouTube and you want to see the drum stream, go to twitch.tv/retro. The only way I can do it, otherwise YouTube fucks with me. So, sorry it's not my decision, but that's how it is. All right. Almost there. And yeah, if you can hear me, the reason I kind of overdid the soundproofing is because I think it looks cool. Okay, so once again, here's how it'll work. The stream is going to go down for 10 seconds, and then on YouTube, it's going to stay down. On Twitch, it's going to come back in 10 seconds. So, so once again, I mean, I'm just going to go into YouTube chat, make sure you guys directly have the link. To see the drum stream, because it's not just me playing drums. I play Yarg, which is like a clone of Rock Band, so it's like drumming along to actual songs and stuff. So there we go. All right, stream will be down for 10 seconds. I'll be right back. All right, see ya.